Yes, sir. All right, man. Bruh, this took way too goddamn long to do. I would have already been done. That's why I'm like, bruh, I be trying to come back live more often, y'all, but it be trying to trigger your boy, man. But we finally are live. We finally got it running. I got my alerts. Good. My tweet went out. Cool. I hope that's the right one. We had to do like 50 different one of these, but we're finally are live. For some reason, I was trying to go live on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. Unfortunately, it was not working. So, unfortunately, Twitch, I love y'all, and I got it. I'll make it up. I'm gonna have to make it up to y'all going live, which I've been wanting to do some more gaming soon. So, with that being said, we'll try to get back back on that very, very soon. But today, I wasn't even planning on this. Like I said, I was gonna react to a video. But what ended up happening was I was like, instead of reacting, let's just go on live and reacting. So we can give you some live content. Yeah, you feel me? So what happened is I'm following Nick Merckx, of course, and he posted this because he's had a couple of things to say about this individual who is Kris Tyson. I think they go by Ava Tyson now. Kris Tyson is one of the main characters in MrBEAST. And like one of the main people for all these years, and he has now trans he's a female now, right? And Nick has said some things in the past about him being ashamed of himself, leaving behind his wife and child to play pretend. One day you'll wake up and realize what you've done. And since then, there's been speculation, or there's been a lot of accusations, I will say, of him doing some creepy stuff over the past couple of weeks. And now it has hit full steam ahead that he was in talks with a minor. So I want to learn about this and see what's going on. I mean, everybody if you're on YouTube, everybody knows who MrBEAST is, of course. And I don't put any of this blame on MrBEAST, though. Like, this is a whole other person. They have their own, MrBEAST may be this individual's friend, but these actions are not of MrBEAST. Now, whether he continues to mess with this individual or mess with MrBEAST, mess with this person, that's on him. But here, I guess there's a short of kind of what happened to
Here's what actually happened to MrBEAST Kris's ex-wife, Katie. After coming out as a trans woman and changing the name and pronounces, Kris also revealed that she separated from her wife and child. That caused a lot of hateful comments from MrBEAST subscribers, and Katie had to close the comments in her social media accounts.
This is more about the wife, but this is also also Kris as well, and like his transition, as you can see him at one point.
Call Katie a victim of a bad husband who ruined her life. After Kris and Katie divorced, Kris left their house and moved to another place, while Katie and their son Tucker stayed at the same house. Even though Katie has never publicly supported Kris, she said that Katie was supporting her all the time.
Well, 4 years my wife, 3 years my girlfriend, but it's like she was there the whole way. She was supportive in her own way. We were both figuring it out.
Recently, Katie deactivated their son's Tucker Instagram account. In the last photo posted on her Instagram, she turned 28 years old, and according to her friends, she's actually being a great mother. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about Katie?
Okay, so with that being said, let's dive into this actual drama. Okay, so there's a couple of videos here. This one 6 days ago, almost 1 million. This one 3 weeks ago. But there is, like I said before, a recent one of ones coming around here. This one in particular, 8 minutes long. This one right here is 5 hours ago. I mean, tons of content coming out of the recent hour, right? He just became a nightmare for MrBEAST. Now I'm trying to think which one I want to go with, right? Because honestly, there's a lot of them here. There's a lot of them. I'm seeing. Let me see. I had one already in mind, but these other ones are just popping up now. Let me see.
Gentlemen and female gentlemen, welcome to more drama. Your boy's already been annihilated like 6 times.
Let's see. We got that one. And where's the one I was just looking at, bro? This one's another one, but this is 6 days ago. Bro, where's the one I was just looking at, bro? What the hell? It didn't pop up. Is this one?
So I think it's safe to say that
I like this one, I think, man. 29 minutes.
So I think it's safe to say.
I'm going to go take a piss, but I can hear it. I'm going to put the speakers on.
that things have gotten 10 times worse for Kris Tyson, as I have uncovered within the past few hours some really damning information regarding Kris Tyson and a then 13-year-old that Kris was allegedly talking to years ago when Kris was around 20 years old, an adult. Now, before we get into what I have recently found, I just wanted to give a special shout out to the person who originally brought this to light, the person who had investigated all of this and provided all of the receipts, and also including all of the information that we went over yesterday, because apparently the same person who has put out the information on these new allegations was the same person who obtained these tweets. So props to them for all of this information. Now, you guys might recall, if you watched all of yesterday's video, that at the end of the video we went over a pinned comment from a user who actually happens to be the same guy who has been covering this on his channel and who's brought today's information to light. And if you guys do remember, in that comment, Prism went over how apparently he tried to get EDP445 to talk about this, essentially to bring more attention to it, and eventually after EDP445 stopped cooperating with him, he decided to try Chris Chan. And personally, if you ask me, I don't really know if that was the best idea, because as you guys may know, Chris Chan and EDP445 don't have the best reputations, nor are they really that credible. Now, a little bit further in the comment, he talks about how apparently Kris Tyson allegedly messaged a 14-year-old and jokingly flirted and talked about sending nudes to him. Now, just based off of this part in the comment, I found that to be really odd, and I had never heard of apparently Kris Tyson messaging a 14-year-old, so I figured I would do a little bit of research, and it actually turns out that Prism here made around a month ago a 40-minute long video that we're going to be going over today, and I have gone ahead and I have pre-watched it, and all I'm going to tell you right now before we get into it is that the ages match up and it looks really bad. Now, I can't say all of this is true 100% or anything like that. It's all allegations. You know, take the things that you see here with a grain of salt. I know based off of what we went over yesterday.
First off, also, man, salutes to everybody in the building, man. I didn't say it was good. Salutes to Gucci Lou, Mikey, Eagles fan. Yo, Love, what's good? Yo, Love, Outlaw 24, Scuba Steve. We got... Bro, I hear something, bro. That's my phone. I'm like, what the hell? Jadis, what's going on, man? Salutes to everybody. Salutes. Yeah, my damn phone is tripping. Like, everything's going off, man. Come on. Salutes to everybody in the building, man. First and foremost, I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Let's get straight to it.
You might think that Kris Tyson is like a pedophile or a predator or something insane like that. In my opinion, I wouldn't really jump on that real quick, because we don't know if 100% Kris is a pedophile or a predator or whatever. We just know that Kris has done some really weird things in his past over on Twitter. So without further ado, let's get into it. So based off of Prism's video, he has decided to keep the alleged at the time 13-year-old's name private for the most part, and he refers to this person as BW. He uses their initials, and they also go by the screen name of Lava GS. Now, essentially what happened and how it happened, according to Prism here, is Kris Tyson started a friendship with somebody who was 13 years old at the time when they were 20 years old. Now, just for a little bit of context here, the then 13-year-old actually happens to be the same age as me and is currently, as of 2024, 20 years old. Just keep that in mind as we go forward.
BW, Kris Tyson reached out to this guy when he was 13 years old. Except the problem with that is Kris Tyson started an online friendship with this guy when he was only 13 years old. Now, the problem with that is Kris Tyson was born in July of 1996. Lava GS was born on November 12th, 2003. The problem with that is that there's a 7-year age gap. So when you started socializing with this guy online and building an online connection and some sort of friendship and you talking to this guy, playing video games with him, socializing, he was only 13 years old. He was in middle school and you were in college. You were 20 years old. So that's what I'm going to talk about, is why is it that someone who is in college, who's like a sophomore or junior at that point, what are you doing making friends with a middle schooler?
So yeah, I mean, so far with only that, it's already looking bad.
So yeah, so we got a 20-year-old hanging out, texting a 13-year-old. So I mean, okay, let's be 100% honest. Let's be honest here, right? Because I'm gonna be 1,000, right? There's a 7-year difference here, right? Obviously. Now, me personally, I am I'm a married man. I am a straight man too. On top of that, nor does that really matter. Age is more of what's considered here, right? But if I was 20 years old and doing content on YouTube, I don't, and I was I don't see necessarily it being an issue if you're just like cool or friends with someone that's 13. But now you're texting them every day on some weirdo type of stuff. That yeah, that's where any type of sexualization. That's definitely weird. I mean, let's be honest, right? So salutes to Gucci Lou in the chat, right? That's a good friend of mine. He's a good friend of mine now too. Gucci, how old were you when you first started watching me and we talked? Like we just came into contact. Because I mean, me and you recently, I guess, started being like over. And when I say recently, like a couple of years now, like 4 years. But you was watching streams when I lived at, my first house, my first apartment. I think I might have been 25 at the time, right? How old were you, Gucci, at that time? You probably about 15 or something, right? Now I didn't have your number. I didn't text you. We weren't like that, but you was cool. I mean, maybe even BTC would be able to speak. I probably had Brandon's number at that time. So like, I don't feel like people always get really weird about ages and stuff. When it comes to like a friend though, I don't really, especially in the sneaker world, like I'm in my 30s, I can go to sneaker con and there's kids that's gonna be 15, 16, 17 that are into shoes. And I don't see nothing wrong with like, if you're cool with that person or like at all like a friend. But if it's like on some, like I said, inappropriate stuff, of course, that's where things are very weird and odd. So, it's like, I get it, but at the same time, let's hear more. Obviously, it was inappropriate.
Like, this is definitely not something that Kris should have been doing, and I'm not really too sure if he knew that, like, he shouldn't have been doing that in really any capacity at all, because at the least it's really fucking weird. But it really makes it worse when you factor in that artwork, that quote-unquote artwork that we went over yesterday in yesterday's video. And another thing that I think is really important here is that Kris Tyson at the time was bisexual. And it's like, once again, I mean, what are you doing being 20 years old, interacting with people that young? It's like, you don't have friends. Like, I mean, we all know that Kris had friends. I mean, for God's sake, it's like he's been friends with Jimmy for how long? Since childhood. Like, it really can't be that hard to go out and find friends that are actually around your age group. Another thing that is mentioned too, besides the two things that we just,
and I get that too. Like I said, back to what I said like initially, like I wouldn't be out here trying to find friends of a young friends like that, obviously. But what I'm saying is, like, that wouldn't be an instant just. If it was like I said, someone you're just talking to like on the internet, just as a friend, like playing video games with them and stuff, yeah. But if you're trying to like link up and meet them and go hang, like that's where it starts getting creepy. So I'm curious when it got to the next level in this situation.
Just went over is that apparently Prism has also noted that they communicated one-on-one and unattended. And yeah, that's where this starts getting bad, like really bad. If you thought it was bad before, well, just think about bad, but times 10. Because Prism goes into detail about how apparently Kris made Prism a moderator and also even...
Okay, hold on. What's that?
But times 10. Because Prism goes into detail about how apparently Kris made...
Kris, I really enjoy playing Fortnite. Would you guys want to watch me stream? Yes, a lot. Please stream again. Thanks, Dad. You want to moderate?
Prism a moderator, and also even worse than that, and I know this is going to be stereotypical, but yeah, also Prism goes into detail about how apparently Lava had Kris added on Snapchat. Like, I know some of you guys in the audience are thinking to yourselves, well, yeah, it looks like Kris is kind of cooked, but yeah, I got a weird snap from Kris, and then as you guys can see right here, there's a screenshot of the snap. Up in the left-hand top corner there, you can see from Christopher, and then there's a picture of Kris in front of the American flag, and there's text that Kris displayed, and the text says coming for America, like CUMMING. And also just keep in mind that Lava right here, if you do the math with this being January 26, 2019, Lava right here would have been 15 years old. And as for how old Kris would be here, Kris would have been 22 and a half years old. So yeah, by just knowing that, like, why in any context would you send something like that to somebody that you most likely know is 15 years old while you are 22 years old? Like, Like, I have a feeling that people are going to argue, well, this is a joke or something by Kris. You know, Kris is a funny guy. He's the meme god. But this right here is not a joke that you make to somebody who is 7 years younger than you and to somebody who is a minor. Now, moving a little bit further in the video, Prism talks about how Kris and Lava met, and that was apparently because Lava won a challenge that MrBEAST was doing, and Lava received a signed knife from MrBEAST.
When he was 16, he was in a MrBEAST video. He asked Jimmy, how hard do you want it? 68 million people have seen it. What I want to start out with is when this guy was really young, he won some sort of competition or was involved, and he DM'd MrBEAST on Twitter. And
how hard do you really want it is kind of out of pocket.
Got sent a knife signed by MrBEAST. He was like 12 or something. And it was a karambit signed by MrBEAST. It was a CSGO karambit. Sure, that seems to be the first interaction that I can tell.
So I guess it's one thing for Lava to win the challenge, and that's the reason why they get into contact with him, but like after that there shouldn't be any like connection. They, including Kris, should not have been trying to be friends with this kid or anything like that. But anyways, moving on. Now, I'm not really trying to say that this specific screenshot right here is anything more than just weird, but after what we went over in my last video with the drawings and stuff, like it's really weird, let alone having a 14-year-old moderate your YouTube stream. I showed the screenshot a little bit earlier in the beginning of the video, but we're gonna analyze it now. Kris on March 26, 2018 put out a tweet and he said, I really enjoy playing Fortnite. Would you guys wanna watch me stream? And then he put up a poll, and then Lava responds and he says, please stream again, in all caps. Kris responds, thanks dad, you wanna moderate it? Like, yeah, I really shouldn't have to tell you why this is weird given the ages, but just why? Kris was how old during this? 2021? And he's calling a literal 14-year-old his dad. Like, I don't know, man, this shit's just weird. Now it looks like we have some more tweets here that don't look too important, so I'm gonna skip past those. I'll show them on the screen anyway so you guys can see them. But then this is where the really questionable part comes in which Lava asked Kris on February 14th, 2018, Kris, does she know about your hentai addiction? Like, excuse me? Like, why does Lava know about this supposed hentai addiction that Kris has? Like, it's really odd that a 14-year-old knows that a 21-year-old has a hentai addiction and these two happen to be friends. Like, why the hell would you tell somebody who is this age, or frankly a minor, weird sexual shit and the things that you're in?
Oh wait, okay, that's something I didn't know. Okay, so wait, hentai, I know about. I'm not gonna say the word because of YouTube moderation. So hentai always means the hentai corn. We're gonna say corn, right? That's always been the case. I thought, I ain't gonna lie, I thought hentai was just like anime. I'm gonna Google it, but I ain't gonna Google it over here. I didn't know that always. Now I understand that's weird. Hentai addiction, yeah. That is odd as hell. Hentai. Okay, yeah, now as soon as I type in hentai, shit, Pornhub popped up at the top. So hentai, so he's telling this little 13-year-old kid about his hentai addiction. So they're talking, yeah, this is where it gets weird. This he's done now. Like, there's no reason why you should even have a conversation about, yeah, man, I like hentai, man, that thing turns me on. Like, anything weird to a 13-year-old kid, that's where it's definitely getting out of pocket. What's good, J-Fam?
Into sexually. Like, this is highly questionable, and I don't know what Kris was doing here.
At this point, you already have been talking to this guy. You're already friends with this guy. You already know this guy. And what is he? What are you saying here? So you post something that says, "Guys, we are so close to our goal. Oh my God, one more Patreon, and I'm releasing my nudes." And of course, this is some poorly made joke. I've seen these kinds of jokes online before, where it says, "Oh, if this post gets 1 like, I'll kill myself," and then the person likes it. It's, you know, this kind of joke. It says a goal of $3. I want to see if anyone is dumb enough to give me money. But of course, it's only you and this other guy in this Twitter thread. And this is the part I have a problem with. This isn't a group chat. This is literally just him and this other guy that he's been talking to and that he's friends with online. He says, Lava says, "I'm your first Patreon, big boy." Now keep in mind, Kris Tyson, he was born July 1996. So he would have been 22 years old at the time, or around that age. And you have this guy who was born in November 12, 2003. He would have been 14. And of course, here he is. I'm your first Patreon, Big Boy, which he's calling him Big Boy. And he shows that he donated some money. He donated like $1 or something. So it's not enough to meet the goal. And he says, but not $5. Pathetic. Just kidding. Kissy face.
Whoa. Now, so that little lava kid trying to see them nudes as well, man. He got the kissy face. Yeah.
Now, I don't think I should.
At this time, I think he was bi, right? It said so. He's already, there's already kind of like little weird stuff going on. Is this normal to y'all?
Have to explain why this is bad, and they definitely really like the worst look, especially given the shit that we went over in the last video. And I know that this is off topic. I really hate to go off topic, but the amount of people who are in my comments in the last video justifying the lolly, or at least trying to, is absolutely insane. And I'm hoping that when this video comes out, because I'm currently making it, I really hope that this can help change your disgusting perspective on people like this and their weird kings, because this is bad, and what we went over in the last video is disgusting in and of itself. Now, when it comes down to those tweets where apparently Lava was going to donate to Kris Tyson, I mean, you can obviously try to justify it with a joke, and I wouldn't necessarily say that this is the most damning thing ever, but when it's coupled with the fact that, that previous shit came out that I talked about in my last video, and the other things that we're currently going over in this video, it's inappropriate behavior, it's weird, and I'm not calling Kris anything more than a huge weirdo who has had an inappropriate conversation with a minor. But like overall, this is fucking bad.
Yeah, this is the part that I have a problem with, and I'm gonna say this, but if you know this guy is that young and you've been talking to him one-on-one online and you've been socializing with him and making friends, what is this comment supposed to mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means that you're telling him that he needs to donate $5 so you can release your nudes or whatever, and you sent him a kissy face. Now, granted, you could say that this is a joke or whatever, this is bro talk, but keep in mind, this is with someone who's 14, and this is someone who's in college talking to someone that isn't even in high school yet, really, or if he was in high school, he just joined it. Oh boy, because what I'm seeing here is he says, "Wait till my Twitch revenue comes in." Winky face. So you're sending kissy faces. He's sending you a winky face, and the premise is you're trying to give him enough money so you can get his nudes. Already really weird, considering the fact that this is one of your online friends and this massive age difference. And of course, it continues. He says, check again, and he tags you, I think. At least that must be you, or he's tagging you. And of course, he says, I posted some fire nudes for you. Please no share. And this is someone that you're talking to that is 14 years old, that you know is 14. And at the end of the day, you cannot be talking about topics.
So obviously, if you watch Aiden Ross or somebody, there's a lot of gay jokes that get thrown around and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And there's joking that gets done all the time. Stuff like this of this nature. I'll be 100% honest though, even though this may be him just making jokes about the nudes. I would not joke around with an underage person with this type of thing. Like Gucci Lou or Scuba Steve or J-Fam, I can joke and say something. Yo, J-Fam, I sent you some nudes, brother. I'm about to send you some nudes. That's already whoa, that's out of pocket, right? But if I know you're underage, I won't even joke with you like that. I wouldn't even joke around with you like that. You know what I'm saying? And even at times, you got to kind of just watch, what you say to people, because I think there was a time back in the day when we were doing the streams every single day, we were talking about females and relationships, right? We were talking about, I was doing a panel, and I was talking about something happened where people were talking about relationships, and I think someone took my panel who was 16 years old, and they were asking me about yo, there's this girl and this and that, and I'm trying to do it, and I had to tell them bro, respectfully, you underage, I can't really tell you nothing about that. All I can really tell you is stick to the books or something. I was just you really can't dive into that type of stuff, bro. It's a little too much. It gets misconstrued, and yeah, you gotta watch who you're talking to and how you talk to them. You feel me? What's going on, man? ETC Zay in the building, man. Ease the crave, man. There will be no cancellations.
I done held you down, light skin.
Topics like this with someone that is this young.
Even if Kris happened to not have bad intentions here, Kris shouldn't have been talking to somebody this age like that, and that's the problem, at least as of right now. Let alone that Kris is frequently on the MrBEAST YouTube channel and in MrBEAST videos, where, you guessed it, the primary audience is little kids. But I mean, even besides that, once again, he shouldn't have been talking to this person who happens to be underage, and he most likely knew that.
Keep in mind, you're bisexual, okay? You're talking to a guy that is 14 and you're in college, and the premise here is you guys are joking with each other about sending nudes. That's illegal. You can't do that. And let me just say it like this. It doesn't matter if you're joking or not. Solicitation is solicitation. There should be zero discussion about anybody sending anyone who's 14 years old nudes of any kind, okay? I don't know, I'm not quite sure if you sent this guy nudes or not. For all I know, this very well could be a joke. But you are talking inappropriately to a guy who is 14 years old and to a guy who you know is 14 years old, and that's what I have a problem with. What I have a problem with here is the way that you're talking to him, the fact that he's asking you about animated pornography, and this is one of your friends with online, which, by the way, you shouldn't even be friends with a middle schooler to begin with because you're in college.
Now, this situation only seems to get worse and worse as we go further, because on January 14th, 2019, and there was this screenshot that was posted by Lava. Now, I'm not really sure where this picture came from, if Kris sent this to Lava or if Lava took this somehow or what, but it's captioned, "This is a bad way to hide your hentai," at Kris02. Now, as far as I'm aware, that is Kris, even though it's a different handle. But yeah, no, it's just so weird that in context to Kris, this Lava guy is constantly like pointing out that, oh, this is a bad way to hide your hentai. Oh, does she know about your crippling hentai addiction? And just things like that. It's just so weird. Let alone that in 2019, this would have made Lava around 15 years old. Another screenshot of a tweet that was obtained by Prism here is from November 11th, 2019, and it's replying to Kris and gamer subs. And Lava said, "I love how I set that embed up so it shows you looking sexy." Kind of a weird comment to be making, especially after all of the things that we just went over and the things that we still have yet.
Bro, this little, even though, I mean, look, the adult here is obviously in the wrong, but this minor here himself, he's out here pushing it, bro. He's trying to get the nigga caught up. This nigga's trying to be on, what's that, jailbird type shit, bro.
To go over, but yeah, I don't know. On February 14th, 2020, Lava tweeted at Kris02, "Will you be my Valentine?" Winky face emoji. Like, I don't know what friends do this. Like, even if it's like a normal friendship and it's not like some weird 7-year age gap friendship, but like, what normal friendship is constantly like this? And I mean, with the given context that Kris was bisexual at the time and still might be bisexual, on top of all the other things that have came out, like, this is highly suspicious. Here's some unrelated replies. This one is from December 25th, 2019, and it's Lava saying, "Thank you, Dad," with a heart emoji. Like, just a quick question for you guys in the audience. If you're friends with somebody and you're not gay and you don't have feelings for them and you just have a normal friendship, say like you're a 20-year-old and you got some friends from high school that you still talk to that are around the ages of 19 to 25, just for a little bit of context there. Do you guys talk in this way? Do ya? Because I can tell you right now, I don't talk to my friends like this. But I guess also at the same time, I'm not really friends with minors, so. But yeah, no, this is oddball behavior. This is another unrelated tweet that was made on May 12th, 2018, and this was Kris responding to Lava, and Kris said, "Thanks, Lava, love ya." Now, moving a little bit further on, I mean, if I'm Kris right now, how in the hell do I explain this? Lava put out a tweet and said, "Kris bullies me," and then he attached a screenshot of some pinned Discord messages with him and Kris. And Lava says, "Practice with this," at Kris the meme god. And it's a
Wow.
banana, right? And I think we all know what that signifies right there. And this was February of 2019, by the way. 2 days before Lava sent this in whatever Discord this is, Kris sent an image and captioned it, Lava's mom tomorrow. Like, what the fuck, Kris? What the actual fuck? This kid is how old again? This kid? It's a kid and you're how old? Like, okay, you could easily say that this is a joke and whatnot, but these are definitely not things you should be sending to minors when you are an adult. Like, again, it's oddball behavior. Now, it looks like a month before that, on January 13th, 2019, and I know the timeline is like all over the place here, but on January 13th, 2019, Kris tweeted out Lava GS's stream and said, my friend Lava GS is live on Twitch. Go spam lobster in the chat. Now, I really wouldn't say that this is too bad, despite the fact that Kris has the 7-year age gap friendship with the person who he's shouting out here. Now, as we all know, Kris is a little bit of a memer, so on March 4th, 2017, he put up a screenshot of what looks like to be a message on a 4chan post, if that's what they call them. I've never been on 4chan, or this could be Reddit. I don't know which one it is, but it's a post from Anonymous, and it says, objectively, the easiest way to prevent a R word is to start consenting. What can I say, guys? Kris is just the meme god. Am I right? Now, I really doubt this has anything to do with Lava, but still. Interesting meme you got there, Kris.
That's
now,
crazy.
Anyways, moving on. It doesn't really seem like there's too much proof of this, but Prism goes on to talk about how
Bro, that's crazy, bro. That's a very edgy joke, but that's hella out of pocket. That would get your ass canceled nowadays. That was 2017. You'll probably get canceled now in 2024. The easiest way to avoid R is just a consent.
allegedly Kris
What's going on, Q?
and Lava met up, because if you guys are unaware, Lava is from West Virginia.
What's going on? Hey, everybody, hit that salute to J fam. Hit that like button, man. I know it's been a long time since we went live. I just decided I was gonna react to this anyway, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go live and react to it. You feel me? We can interact a little bit here and there. I just wanted to fire the live up and just kind of get some content flowing this way. You feel me? And everybody over on Twitch, you know, I miss y'all as well. So maybe we start seeing more of these. I can't promise nothing, because when I promise something, I don't fulfill it. So I'd rather just keep it going.
Virginia, and Kris is from North Carolina. And if you don't know anything about that and how close those states are to each other, well, yeah, they're actually not too far away from each other. And it would be super easy to drive over to that state in like a few hours. Now, I'm not saying that anything happened. These are allegations, and Prism is about to do the talking here. But if this actually did happen, that would have been the most insane, disgusting thing to ever happen regarding Kris Tyson. And once again, I'm not saying it happened because I don't know, but if some weird shit like that did happen, it 100% is over for Kris Tyson.
Wait,
I have
what?
no idea if this guy.
Bro, I've been wondering what the hell this thing is right here. Like, this like a Pokemon or like a Pikachu goddamn mask?
Happened to this guy physically. I can only show that they're talking about inappropriate topics with each other. I can show that there is a vast age difference, that he should not have been socializing with this guy in the first place, but he did. And the fact that he was able, like the moment he was able to meet up with him, he met up with him in person, which I think is highly inappropriate, since he was talking to this guy since he was 13, and he's also attracted to men, and the guy's a guy. It's highly inappropriate. The circumstances he showed up in is inappropriate. Here we go. So this one's in Carl's server. Right here. It's a Discord messaging. He said, "I love Carl though. I drove from West Virginia to North Carolina. I'm sitting in a camper in the woods right now. I love Carl though." So Carl is amazing, and that is a fact. True, he hugged me before Kris managed to. Carl sleep. I'm just friends with Carl. I don't need mod. His mod team is already top notch. Why do you want?
Okay, hold on. First of all, who's Carl? Is he trying to insinuate that Carl is the nickname of your boy Kris's Jimmy? You feel me? Because, I mean, you know, a lot of women out there, you know, if you got a lady, she might give your thing a nickname. You feel me?
I love Carl though. I drove from West Virginia to North Carolina. I'm sitting in a camper in the woods right now. I love Carl though. So Carl is amazing, and that is a fact. True, he hugged me before.
Wait, who's Carl? Who's Carl? Okay, Carl's a person. Okay, who is that?
Before Kris managed to. Carl, sleep. I'm just friends with Carl. I don't need mod. His mod team is already top notch. Why do you want to come to North Carolina?
Oh.
Because winky face, winky face. Carl simps for me. Who doesn't simp for Carl? I think we all simp for Carl. I know, right, Teehee? Offering to buy me ice cream if I do stuff for him. Why do you want to come to North Carolina? And money. Sneak me away from...
Hold on, let me see. MrBEAST Carl. Oh. Carl Jacobs. Okay. Now I know who Carl is.
From New York to North Carolina, that's why. Carl simps for me. Who doesn't simp for Carl? Boy Jedi, why do you want to hide in my suitcase? Sneak me away from New York to North Carolina, that's why. Wait, who is older, Lava or Boy Jedi? You're both 16, right? I'm 16. Jedi 16. Carl reading all the simping, like... At Carl, see you Tuesday, baby girl. I'm in a camper on a hotspot. Imagine being in the woods. Imagine simping over Carl. And of course, here is the Steam account of Kris Tyson. It is estrogen dealer. And they are both friends with each other, Lava GS and Kris Tyson. And as you can see here, the games that they played, it matches up with the tweets that they made. And as you can see, Mangled Pickle is also on there. It matches up with the tweets that they made. Now this one, again, he's going to have to explain this. So this guy is super young, right? He's been talking to him since he was super young, 13 years old. So why is it that not only are you DMing this guy on Twitter, you're Snapchatting this guy, you're talking one-on-one in a voice chat with this guy, but the kind of Snapchats that you're sending, this is the Snapchat that you sent. He said, I get weird snap from Kris, and it's a picture of him making a weird face next to an American flag, and it says, coming for America. Now, you might think that, oh man, this must be some weird 4th of July joke. Nope, it's not 4th of July. You can clearly see the date right there. This guy would have been like 15 at this point. And why are you sending a 15-year-old a message saying coming for America? Why are you DMing a 15-year-old anyways on Snapchat? Why are you doing that? Why are you DMing this guy who you've been talking to since he was 13 on Snapchat?
So yeah, we're definitely gonna need some clarification or something from Kris. Kris has to...
I'm trying to understand this damn camper situation. I don't feel like I got clarification. Did he go to hang out with him in a camper? In the middle of the woods or something? I'm confused. Where the fuck is this dude's parents at?
Say something. Kris can't be quiet like Kris has been for the longest time. This needs to be something that Kris is going to address head on, like right now, because after I put up this video, which I mean it's already up if you're listening to it right now, it really wouldn't surprise me if everybody hops onto this and it becomes a huge thing, just purely based off of how the last video did. So if I'm Kris right now, I'm addressing this. I'm proving that, oh, this didn't happen, or it didn't happen the way that it did happen, or whatever, or I'm at least saying something. I don't know, because you can't just be silent about something like this. Like, there's been so much shit that has been shown of you being weird and having inappropriate conversations with at least one minor, you being into lolly, and now apparently there are allegations of you meeting up with a 15 or 16-year-old in the woods back when you were 24 or 25. Like, Kris, if you're watching this, because I really wouldn't be surprised if you're watching it, you need to come out and say whatever you can and say at least something, especially if you didn't do this, because I mean, you already look bad enough. Having allegations of you meeting up with a minor potentially is not going to make you look any better.
They're talking about profile pictures. He said he put his profile picture as Kris Tyson from MrBEAST. And here's another Twitter message, or sorry, here's another Discord message. He said, Kris DM'd me on Twitter asking me to come help him on Beast's stream. And here's another one, and here's a screenshot of Kris Tyson talking to this guy. This ain't true. And this screenshot is Kris Tyson talking one-on-one with him. And at this point, he would have been 16. And here we go. Here is the picture of...
So as I stated before, like, and Quentin, you came in kind of late, but like, Quentin, like, when you first started watching me, right? How old were you, by the way? When you first watched me, I mean, you probably, yeah, tell me how old if you don't mind, right? I ain't gonna lie, I missed out on the opportunity. I honestly just missed out on the opportunity. But we were talking about this earlier, like, you know, when I started, like, I feel like all my audience has grown with me. I feel like a lot of my audience has been with me for like as long as I've been going on YouTube. So I feel like we're all grown now. But like when I was starting YouTube or coming into YouTube, you know, I might have been like, I think it was like 22 or 23, right? So there's people that may have been 15 when I was 22. And then now, you know, I'm in my 30s, and then if they were 15 when I was 22, that means that's a 7-year gap, right? That means that now we're in the 30s, like they're 26 now or something, right? Like I know, like that's the case, right? I guess like if you got viewers and you're like cool with them through like social media, it's cool. But yeah, when you're like the now what makes it weird, where I understand it's super weird now, is how persistent and how actually close they were. So you was in college 18, 19. Okay, exactly. And even then, Quint, like me and you were cool. We've DM'd each other. We talked about like games or just talked about stuff in general. Even like just regular stuff. We've had conversations, right? It's normal. But I just, like I said, I was trying to play it very down the middle, because it's easy just to jump on and say it's super weird. But let's just say you were 17 or whatever, right? Like, I feel like it's not an issue to be cool with people in your chat that support you, or even on Twitter and social media, if it's just genuine, what's the word? Because I want to make sure I'm saying stuff right, because I don't want to be taken out of, not even, nah, I'm about to say platonic. Nah, not even platonic. Platonic is intimate and affectionate. If you are just friends with somebody online, you talk to them about life or whatever, and there's nothing like weird about it. Like if it's nothing sexual, like I don't see an issue. Like if Kai Sanat, who's 20 something, has a subscriber that's been supporting him, and he's 16, and he wants, you know, like how he did, like this is a perfect example. You know, Kai, they were trying to go after Kai because he went and hung out with Kim K's daughter. Like there was nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. That's just weird for people that people just make stuff weird sometimes. Like if Kai wants to go hang out with Kim K's daughter because that's her favorite content creator, and he's doing nothing like weird and just giving it this, you know, bringing it on the show, like I don't see an issue there. But if it's on something like Kai's texting her every day and he be talking to her on the phone every day, hell yeah, it's when it gets weird. And this guy, they met over online and kept talking. Now I guess this guy is actually linked up with him in person. This is a difference, in my opinion. They talk about hentai, and the hentai thing is when it got weird, because the fact that you bring up hentai has brought up that you've brought up something sexual with this individual. Hentai is out of pocket.
Of them meeting up together, and here we go. Here is the picture of them meeting up together. I'm gonna censor his face, and as you can see right there, there's Carl right there, there's Kris Tyson right there. Kris Tyson was talking to this guy since he was 13. Kris Tyson was in college, and of course, the moment he was able to drive, he takes a camper van out in the middle of the woods.
So yeah, that essentially confirms.
That part, I'm just like, where the hell is the parents, bro, at that point? That's crazy. That's crazy that the parents are like letting you do.
That they met up. Now I'm not really too sure.
But we learned that I've learned that over the years now. Like parents don't be giving a damn. You look at all those R. Kelly videos that came out about how R. Kelly was doing stuff to little kids and girls, and how he was telling the parents, you know, he was gonna get them right, and you know they were leaving their kids with R. Kelly for the summer, and now, you know, parents be naive and oblivious, you know.
sure if the parents were okay with this or how this really went, but we have Lava here saying in Discord DMs that apparently he's taking a camper van to a very secluded area in the woods to meet up with Kris or the MrBEAST crew, and then we get pictures on Lava GS's Instagram with him and Kris and other MrBEAST members. So yeah, it's very apparent that they did meet up in one way or another. I don't know if anything happened or what. I really hope nothing bad happened, but yeah, just given the way that he's been talking to this guy and how Kris was into Lolly and stuff like that, definitely not a good look at all, and people are definitely going to be questioning this meetup. Now, I decided to do a little bit of research to find this Instagram page, and I was actually able to find it, and currently it's on private, meaning that you have to follow it to see what's in there,
What's good,
see
Juice?
what the person posted, but it has the same profile picture and everything, and you can see the age that he provided. It says 20, and then since I actually happen to follow Kris on Instagram, I really don't use Instagram too much, but since I happen to follow Kris on Instagram, it says followed by Kris Tyson. So yeah, we're definitely going to need some answers when it comes down to this, because I'm really not too sure what exactly happened, but the allegations are incredibly damning, and it really is not a good look. Kris Tyson, I know there's gonna be people who see this video and they're gonna be like, Kris is a P-word, like a pedo, or like a groomer. We don't know that. That's not what I want you guys to say, because it's not 100% confirmed, but I just wanted to bring this whole situation to light because I feel like more people should know about this and the shady behavior that Kris has engaged in the past, and I would really love to see a response from Kris about this, because this is damning and it does not make Kris look good at all. Now, as for the rest of Prism's video here, if you want to watch the whole thing, that was around like 27 minutes, I think, of Prism's video, but pretty much for the rest of it, Prism just made a statement and he explained why he was doing this and why he spread this information, and he also made it very clear that he has no ill will for BW, aka Lava. He just wanted to spread this information and bring some light to this situation and the pattern of weird behavior that Kris has had in the past. So yeah, for the people who would like to watch his full video, I went over the main majority of everything, but for those people, I will be leaving a link to his video down in the pinned comment down below, so if you guys want to go check that out, feel free to. And yeah, like I said, this video was not made to call Kris Tyson anything like insane, like a pedo, groomer, predator, or anything bad like that. It was just to bring this very concerning information to light, and I figured I should cover this too since I already covered the Lolly stuff from 2 days ago. So yeah, I guess with that all being said, I'm going to be wrapping up the video right there.
So, okay, so this was the Vic video. I want to see if there's anything else, because obviously there was some new stuff that just was posted like recently now, but let me see. There's a couple other ones. I don't want to do no more 20-minute ones, but there was one that I just saw.
Oh no, long-time friend of Mr.
Oh God, I don't know if I can hear that that nigga throat sound crazy. No disrespect to him. Let me see.
Holy smokerton! Kris MrBEAST transition to Dr. Kris Respect. Nothing gets my knob cranking like some l. If you don't know what that means, that's good. That's a good thing. A l is a young or young-looking girl character that's animated. It hurts to say this, but Kris Tyson was caught literally begging somebody to draw him a 10-year-old. But Your Honor, she's not real. She's technically a 4,000-year-old witch in my manga.
Baba Bowie.
WestJet. What is up, Chandlers and chronically addicted gamblers? WestJet615, Venezuelan trillionaire here, and today we're talking about Kris Tyson. Oh, and literally 0% of you are subscribed, so be sure to subscribe. Yeah. In this video, I'm going to be looking at Kris MrBEAST as an individual. In no way we're making this a transgender debate, because this doesn't belong on a commentary channel. Watch somebody smart and enlightened like Destiny.
I am the self-appointed leader of the BLM chapter. Miami.
Self-appointed?
So. Yes.
Anyway, jokes aside, this video went Obama viral, exposing Kris, and the thumbnail was crazy. She was only 14. Now that insinuates a lot. I was getting concerned. I was like, damn, from Kris Tyson to Chris Hansen, unruly turn of events.
On November 18th, 2017, Ava responded to a tweet from Grande and MrBEAST stating, "This is coming from a guy who owns a shad-based drawing and has it as a centerpiece in his living room."
I can't even show you this. This is some stuff that was found on Vosh's hard drive. It's pretty gross.
Just some time later, they also posted the exact same drawing laid on the floor with the caption, "Bonus fidget spinners to throw some extra autism."
He is not beating the degenerate allegations. It's one thing to be a little bit of a freak on your stream computer and start crying with your wife like Atrioc, but it's a whole other thing to be this public with it and having it as your centerpiece. Of course, you guys get that I'm not trying to justify this in any way, but being this publicly depraved is insane. Like, there's levels to this, you know what I mean? A lot of parents are concerned about this and asking many questions. Kris MrBEAST is very directly associated with the biggest channel on YouTube, and he's this publicly depraved and weird.
However, something messy was going on behind the scenes. In this MrBEAST video, you'll notice a very familiar thing at the 9 minutes and 30-second timestamp.
Nothing weird to hear, just me and the boys straight up chill. Oh, the kid on the wall? Oh, ignore that, ignore that. That's just the centerpiece. But seriously, how addicted do you have to have it just blatantly up on your wall for all your friends to see? That is insane.
The shocking thing is that MrBEAST and Kris were roommates during that time. Yet this is nothing in comparison to the next incidents.
This dude low-key made a cult classic. I'm gonna link his video in the description. It's like cinematic. I'm getting the tingles, like a Netflix documentary.
Okay, this guy's talking hella crazy. Like his accent is all over the place, but obviously this is some new shit that we even talk about. Like, it just seems like Kris is a goddamn creep.
God damn.
On April 16th, 2018, Ava replied under a deleted Shadman post saying, "No Beast Boy trap, Shad? You've changed." Basically, Ava was asking Shadman to draw art of Beast Boy, as Beast Boy was shown at different ages in the show.
Dog, are you serious? Can we genuinely, what's next? Fred Flintstone? Scrap that, he's too old. And it's not like he's sitting in his darkened room, blackout curtain dungeon with candles around him, waiting for the new art drop. He's there publicly begging for it. Once again, if he was in his dungeon, it wouldn't be okay either. It'd still be weird. I'm just emphasizing on his depravity.
And this also goes into the fact that, like we stated before, this guy likes hentai, so he likes cartoon porn.
On January 17th, 2018, a person tweeted saying, "Remember this growing up? Me too. Check it out at Shadbase," featuring a photo of the 4-year-old cartoon.
I don't even want to look at Shad. What is Shad?
But instead of opposing it, Kris joined in and replied, "Help, I need an adult."
At this rate, the only thing he's gonna need is a get-out-of-jail-free card from Monopoly.
So he likes
like,
looking
from
at
Beastie Boy to Caillou. How far does this rabbit hole go? Kris MrBEAST, what are you doing? Just stick to the normal stuff like Gardevoir.
I don't think there's any need to explain how crazy this stuff is. But what's even crazier is Ava's next tweet.
Oh my god, it just keeps going.
Maybelle and Dipper are 12-year-old siblings from a show called Gravity Falls.
All of your favorite kid cartoons aren't safe from Christina MrBEAST's wrath. It's genuinely over. But the funniest thing of all is I believe Sunny V2 got the last laugh in this situation.
The Kris Tyson situation could become a complete disaster for MrBEAST brand.
People didn't really like this video and accused him of transphobia, and the like-dislike ratio reflected that, but damn.
In the early days, he represented the quintessential southern gun and truck-loving dude. Yet beginning in March 2022, Kris began to display increasingly feminine traits.
It's time to live my dream.
I still find it ironic how he's making fun of transgender people, calling them helicopters, and then transitions himself in like a year or two. It's just, it writes itself, really. I don't know if y'all remember, but I find it quite funny how he was known as like this self-proclaimed meme god. It's even written on his YouTubes, and who knew he would become the meme himself. MrBEAST defended Kris back then and said, "Kris isn't my nightmare, he's my fucking friend and things are fine. All this transphobia is starting to piss me off." Well, according to MrBEAST, things were fine back then too, so we really gotta hold what he says with a grain of salt, because now it's gonna be a lot harder to dismiss all criticism as just people being transphobic. It's a lot easier to label somebody with a word rather than actually addressing the criticism. I'd argue Kris MrBEAST is the worst thing to happen to trans people probably ever. They should have done a little more background research before almost propping him up like kind of like an icon. Like, he's not beating the depraved allegations, and you don't want to associate with that.
I mean, it's almost unbelievable that Ava Kris Tyson was tweeting this. This just reflects their personality and feelings.
Okay, JCS psychology, goddamn.
The strange part is that they delete most of their tweets later on.
His post-nut clarity kicked in.
For legal reasons, that's a joke.
In fact, Kris, Ava, whatever you want to call him or her, cleared their whole account on Twitter. But that was because Kris kept getting ratioed by Sneeko, so honestly, I'd delete my Twitter too. And I gotta emphasize on the fact, before the transition, Kris used to be a father. As we all know, he was also caught putting heels on his son, saying that he was slaying. Now, personally, back then, I thought...
See, there's limits, bro. I'm not trying to get into it, but that's out of pocket.
No, he was also caught putting heels on his...
That's out of pocket, bro. I'm sorry.
his son, saying that he was slaying. Now, personally, back then, I thought this was a little weird, but now with all the revelations coming in, it could be flat out creepy. And I just want to say this to all the stupid people who can't critically think and think that all transgender people are out to get your kids. That is not true. Don't think that way.
I'm not saying that neither.
Honestly gets stifled when people...
I'm not saying that neither, but this guy's creepy. You got him, and then what's that the other nigga named James Charles? That nigga was crazy too, and he got canceled.
Start to villainize each other and try not to understand each other's point of view, because let's be honest, in real life nobody's this radical. They're all on Twitter sitting there with nothing to do in their basement. Speaking of basements, just kidding, that's a living room. You see the window?
The fact that Violet was 14 and Ava was a grown adult makes this even worse. The surprising part is that Ava wasn't just reacting to Shadman's work. They were friends or knew each other.
Haters can hate all you want, but we all have a friend whose literal PFP is an SS battalion commander who draws freaking CP anime as his job.
However, if you still think this is a coincidence, the next incident will definitely change your mind.
How would you even think it's coincidence? Did he stumble on this website 17 times on accident looking for Jujutsu Kaisen leaks?
Shadman posted a picture of a character called Raphtalia from the Rising of the Shield Hero. There are two versions of her in the show. In one, she is 17, and in the other, she's 10.
Not that it's any better, but I guess we know which one he'll choose.
Please, Shad, please.
Even if he fully deletes his Twitter account, this stuff is on the internet.
What is Shad base, bro? Let me look this up, bro. I just don't... It seems like... I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look up the account, though. Is Shad base like a person who... This person's not even on Twitter no more. But it seems like Shad base... Yep. Shad base... Oh my goodness. Yeah. I'm just went to Twitter. You could type it out. Shad base usually, it seems like what it's doing is depicting cartoons of young people doing inappropriate things. It's on Twitter. I'm not going to the website, but obviously, yeah, it's all over Twitter.
Forever, and now the kid in the future is going to be dealing with the repercussions of his dumb dad. I kind of feel bad for him. And trust me, it doesn't get any better, because the timeline of his tweets directly coincides with the timeline of his divorce. Now, I'm not saying it led to that or speculating anything here, but it's just a little weird coincidence. While they were dating at the time, and this might have had an impact on them, the divorce was far later, so my fault, I did some research. While Sunny V2 wasn't exactly right, the outcry that's coming from this is insane, and I'm just curious how MrBEAST will deal with it. Will he handle it out of a PR point of view or more of like a human point of view? Unfortunately now, I don't believe he can just call it transphobia, wave it off, slide it under a rug and call it a day. It's kind of weird, and he's sort of like complacent in a way.
I think Jimmy is in an inescapable situation. If he kicks out Kris, cancelled. If he don't, his channel will die for real. An inescapable situation is a pretty good way of describing the drama.
This Sunny V2 video, quite frankly, aged like fine wine. And Kris, MrBEAST, if you're watching, we have less subs than Average Jodas. Subscribe to the channel now.
Yeah, man. It's time for your boy MrBEAST to depart, bro. You know what I'm saying? Are y'all rocking with your friends? Zay, are you rocking with the homie if you're doing all that, man? You know what I'm saying? If that was me doing all this stuff, man, would you know what I'm saying? You gonna let me come rock with you, man? I don't know. This though is some things I wanted to go ahead and go live about. I know I haven't been live for a minute. Forgive me. You know. But if you guys want to see some more, man, hit that like button, comment down below if you're watching on the playback. And yeah, man, we'll try to go live a little bit more and more. I'm trying to go back live more and more with y'all, so forgive me. But I got to get back to work, even though this is kind of work too. You feel me? But yeah, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all, and I'm going to see y'all on the next one, all right?